The longest reigning monarch in British history, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, has died at the age of 96.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong. God help me to make good my vow.
Over the long course of 9 momentous decades, she witnessed social and economic change on a global scale. As Princess Elizabeth of York, she'd come to the throne at the age of 25, following the sudden death of her father, King George VI. During her lifelong reign, the Queen dealt with no fewer than 15 prime ministers, including Sir Winston Churchill, Margaret Thatcher, Tony Blair and Boris Johnson. As head of the Commonwealth, she became the most travelled monarch in history, as head of state of 15 countries. And Queen's death comes just over a year after the loss of her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, her consort for over 70 years. Over the decades, the Queen was greeted by millions of people worldwide and met her subjects on thousands of engagements in the UK and overseas. And the Queen was last seen by the public in this image taken at Balmoral on Tuesday, inviting Liz Truss to become the new Prime Minister. As the crown passes to King Charles III, the Queen's death will be deeply felt by her family, by the people of the UK and by millions in the Commonwealth and beyond. Earlier this evening, Buckingham Palace announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in the history of the United Kingdom, and the commanding presence in British public life over a span of 8 decades. She died at Balmoral in Aberdeenshire at the age of 96. The Queen's eldest son, Charles, at the age of 73, has become King Charles III. It was at 6:30 this evening that Buckingham Palace released this formal statement. The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. Our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell is with me and will be with me throughout this extended edition of BBC News at 10. And Nick, let's just reflect first on the fact that this news, which came several hours ago, is already, and we feel it, calling ripples of dismay and shock and grief, not just in the UK, but around the world.
Wave upon wave of grief. I think it was Boris Johnson who coined that phrase. It is a moment of profound importance and profound sadness.